Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Coming up on today's show, we'll take a look back at the recent Philadelphia Section PGA Championship. What a final round they had at Concord. And Dave McNabb emerged the winner in what they say was one of the most dramatic and eventful final rounds in recent history in that event. Also, our PGA historian, Pete Trenum, will have some stories from Philadelphia pros of the past, and our better golf tip, none other than George Foster from Radnor Valley, will give us a tip or two. It's all coming up next, right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Got a young golfer in the family? Whether their dream is to grab a national ranking or just have more fun on the golf course, sign them up for the Philly PGA Junior Tour this summer. It's competitive play on premier courses for boys and girls 18 and younger throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Perfect for gearing up for the next high school or collegiate golf season. Available to both new and competitive golfers. Registration now open year-round. Help your young golfers find or improve their game. Sign them up today at phillyjuniortour.com.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Recently out at Concord Country Club, they had the final round of the annual Philadelphia Section PGA Championship. And boy, was it some final round. A lot of drama, and here's how it unfolded. The final round of the Philadelphia Section PGA Championship at Concord looked like a cakewalk for Applebrook's Dave McNabb. But with a 4-shot lead over his playing partner Steve Swartz from Conestoga, McNabb ran into trouble on number 16. An errant tee shot led to a double bogey 6. On 17, he had to settle for par as Swartz birdied the drivable par 4. On the par 5 18th and clinging to a 1-shot lead, McNabb found the bunker with his second shot. Swartz stiffed his second, and he eagled the hole. And suddenly, McNabb needed to make a testy birdie putt just to force a playoff. The twosome then returned to the 18th tee for sudden death.
Yes, we're going to need to play off for
Really good.
Swartz drove it right into some heather. McNabb found the fairway 180 yards out. And from there, a 7-iron left him with a very makeable eagle putt.
Oh, my goodness.
Swartz hit his second shot over the green. And McNabb made his putt to capture his first sectional championship. Well, it was sort of a bittersweet finish for Steve Swartz from Conestoga. Steve, all of a sudden you found yourself going to a playoff. What were you thinking there, coming first of all to the 18th hole of regulation?
Well, first of all, down the stretch, Dave was well ahead, and he kind of had a little hiccup on 16, and I found myself, oh, wow, I'm only down a couple, and then wound up finishing strong, and was a little surprised I made it back to get into a playoff, but,
Getting into the playoff, you've eagled the 18th hole. What were you hitting from that second shot from how far?
I had 180 yards in and hit an 8-iron.
Couldn't have hit it any better, could you?
No. As soon as it left the club, I'm like, that's got to be it. And, it turned out nice.
And then in the playoff, you kind of strayed right. Were you in the heather a little bit for your second shot?
Yes, I was in the heather and caught a little bit of a jumper coming out of there over the back.
It hit right below the pin.
Yeah, and then after Dave hit it in there close, it was kind of like, you know, a little anticlimactic. I wanted to try to chip it in, but, you know, just came up short.
Well, look at it this way. You're going to the Pro National Championship next year in upstate New York. Is this going to be your first appearance in that?
This will be my first appearance in that. I played in the National Assistants, but never in the Club Pro.
Okay, well, congratulations. Like I said, a little bittersweet, but at least
Thank you.
next year you got something to look forward to.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Well, here's our champion, Dave McNabb from Applebrook, and your name for the first time shows up now on this trophy with a lot of big names from the Philadelphia section. Congratulations.
Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate that.
You know, it got a little shaky there down the stretch. Tell us about the last 3 holes of regulation here.
You know, I told Donnie I always like to make these kind of things interesting while I'm out there.
You did that, my friend.
I did it again, yeah. You know, I was cruising right along, and I hit a drive in the trees on 16 and hit what I thought was a good punch shot out. Ended up in the right rough about 70 yards and hit what I thought was a pretty good shot. Caught it a little high in the club face down in front of the green. Pitched it up 8 feet from the hole and missed that one.
Stevie then birdied the drivable 17th, right?
Steve hit a great drive on 17, just right of the hole, right of the green, and hit a nice pitch shot up there about 3 feet. I left my putt about that short for birdie, and then he's got to go and knock it on the green about 8 feet, or probably about 4 feet on 18.
And you made a great birdie just to get into the playoff.
Yeah, just snuck it in the left edge there, but
a little roundabout.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But you know, then I was fortunate. I hit a really, really good drive on 18. I said, come on, we just need to make one more good swing, and I was fortunate enough to make a great swing and get it in there about 6 feet right below the hole. And
yeah, that was what you hit. How far were you on that second shot to 18 in the playoff?
162 yards.
And you 7-iron stiff.
7-iron stiff, yeah. Best 7-iron of my life.
It's a great way to finish the season. And hold up that check. So here it is, $8,000 to the winner of the sectional championship, Dave McNabb. Now you're going back to the PNC.
I am. Back to Verona, New York at Turning Stone, where I've been before, and I really love the golf course and love the venue, so hopefully we'll have the same kind of success up there.
Well, the folks at Applebrook, I know, are in a congratulatory mood, as we are too. Congratulations, champ.
Thanks, Harry. Appreciate it. Say hello to everybody back home.
Wow, what a finish. And the executive director of the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America, Jeff Surratt, I don't think you could have even written that script.
No, that was a little more exciting than I'm sure everybody was looking for. The fans and the folks watching the golf today really enjoyed it, but I don't know if Dave really enjoyed those last 3 holes, but he got the deal done in the end. It was fantastic golf.
It's been exciting last few days here and also down the road at Fieldstone, right? That the 2 courses shared the section championship. Tell us about what went on, the Pro-Am, the whole thing.
Sure, yeah, this is our championship week. So it starts with the Maranello Tournament of Champions Pro-Am that benefits the Variety Club. This year looks like we're going to raise about $50,000 out of the Pro-Am for Variety, the children's charity, which is fantastic. It's been our staple charity for almost 40 years now. So, you know, that's a great kickoff to the week. And then this year we had 176 players tee it up, I want to say, and we split it between here and Fieldstone. So Concord and Fieldstone split the field. Players play, they flip second day, and then we cut to the low 60 in ties. The nice thing about this event, as it is for most of the sections around the country, it's a qualifier for the PGA National Championship. So our top 12 players will actually get to play at Turning Stone next June for the National Championship.
That's pretty special. Of course, the winner, Dave McNabb, in a playoff, 55 holes it took him to get there. And Steve Schwartz did a great job coming down the stretch, making birdie on 17 and an eagle on 18 to force the extra hole.
Yeah, Stevie's a stick. He's a perennial great player. He does a lot of his playing in the chapter, the western part of our section. I want to say he's 7 or 8-time player of the year in the chapter. So it's not a surprise to see Steve play well. He's a great representative for the chapter and for the section, but fantastic player. Obviously made all the shots he needed to make to force the playoffs. So hats off to him and you know, the rest of the players that played this week. It was a great week. It was one of the lowest cuts we had. It was +6, 148 to get to the last day. So there was a lot of great golf that was played over the last 3 days.
And looking at that group that will be going on to the PNC next year, I see John Pillar, who is one of your board members. He's going to go back. He was at Philly Cricket Club this year. year. Stu Ingram, I think, has gone back for like number 35, maybe tops in the country.
Yep.
And our good friend George Forster from Radnor also will be making a return appearance.
Oh my gosh, yes. We have a great staple in Philadelphia of really good players, and you'll see our top players kind of float in and out during our championship. But it was great this year. You know, we had some new names, jump up in there this year, and some really great players.
One I didn't mention, Josh Rackley.
Yeah, Josh, a great young player. He won the Haverford this year.
With a dramatic finish.
Yeah, he did. He played in the PNC this year over at Philadelphia Cricket, so this is second in a row. These folks will go on to be one of 312 professionals at the PNC at the National Championship, and we're looking forward to. I'm sure they're looking forward to a great week at Turning Stone next June.
Well, thanks for giving Inside Golf viewers a great finish.
Thanks.
And a great week here.
Thanks again.
For the sectional championship.
Thanks again
Jeff.
for all the support. It's been fantastic.
Oh, our pleasure. All right, that's Jeff Surratt, and we'll be back. More on Inside Golf in just a moment.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Golf course superintendents are the unsung heroes of our great game.
Thanks to the game's efforts,
we now have turf that needs less water
and is more sustainable
and offers natural wildlife habitats on our courses.
If you love golf like I do,
like what I do,
thank a golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
Do thank your golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
A message from the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
I think we'll all agree that the golf ball is not the target. Our true target is...
Up next is Better Golf, presented by Lincoln Motor Company. Quick tips to improve your game.
My name's George Forster, and I'm the head golf professional at Radnor Valley Country Club. And today I'd like to help you with your chipping. Not so much about technique, but finding your true target when you have a chip shot. I think we'll all agree that the golf ball is not the target. And guess what? The hole is not the target. Our true target is where we want to land the ball. A lot of times golfers tend to look at the target, look at the hole, and then they make a big backswing and decelerate when they come into the golf ball because subconsciously they know they've made too big a backswing. You need to focus on where you want the golf ball to land. So in this case, I'm going to try to land the golf ball right about there. And that's my true target. That's what I'm focusing on. Now, I might miss that little black spot, but if I land close to it, I'm going to hit a half-decent chip. Focusing on the target where you want the ball to land is crucial towards making the proper length backswing and then accelerating through the shot. And one important tip that I'll leave you with, I play a lot of golf with my members, and too many times I see them chipping when they should be putting. So remember the old adage, putt when you can, chip when you must.
Here, I think I'm right up here just in the rough.
I think, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. Oh. I think you just ran over it.
I think you're right. I think I ran over it twice.
Well, welcome to our Golf Rules segment with Tom Karpus, head professional at Kennett Square Golf and Country Club. And, we just committed a cardinal sin. We ran over your golf ball in a golf cart. So now, what are the options for you as a player?
Well, not only did I run over it once, I ran over it twice. But I'm driving the cart, and I drove over my golf ball. Right. So therefore, I have moved my ball in play. I incur a one-stroke penalty, and I have to put the ball back. Now, the interesting part here is this ball obviously was pushed down because of the weight of the cart.
Twice.
So twice. So we have a rule that says if the lie is altered, then we have to proceed accordingly, because there's no way I can get the ball back up because it was up higher. Now, the interesting part of this is the rule says replace. Rule 18, I move my ball in play, I must replace it. In this case here, there's no way I knew what the lie was because we were looking for my golf ball.
I never saw it.
We didn't know what the lie was. We really don't know the spot. So now, instead of replacing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it. because I didn't know the lie and I didn't know the spot, and I'm going to drop it as near as possible to where the ball was pushed down.
And that ball's in play now?
That ball's now in play. Now, let's suppose it was your ball, and now let's talk about forms of play. If we were playing match play and we were looking for Harry's ball and I drove over it, well, the rule's broken into two parts. If the ball is moved other than during search, I would get penalized. However, if we're looking for your ball and it's during search, then there's no penalty.
So if it's like an accident or something like that,
exactly.
no penalty.
If we're looking for your ball and I happen to move it, step on it, run over it, it's during search.
So you notify me, I come over, identify the ball, that's mine.
And you do just what I did.
The process of a drop.
Exactly. Unless we knew what the lie was. For example, if the ball was in the middle of the fairway with a perfect lie, we would know what the lie was. So now it says replace, the lie's been altered, and now the rule would allow us to place it in the nearest lie most similar, not more than a club length, near the hole.
So if you ran over my ball in the fairway and it moved it to the rough, I could then return to the fairway to the nearest approximate.
Yes, because you have to replace it. Now, because it was pushed down, the lie's been altered. Right. A little bit more complicated in that case. Mm-hmm. So now, since we know what the lie was, perfect lie in the fairway, we know what it looked like. We're now going to place it in the nearest lie most similar. In this case here that we just went through in the rough, we were looking for the ball. We had no idea whether it was sitting up real high, was it tucked down. There's no way for us to know that. So since we didn't know the lie and we didn't know the spot, now we drop it.
And next time you're in a golf court, keep your eye on the ball. Otherwise, make sure you know
golf rules.
You played the ball as you found it, no matter what. You just played your ball. You didn't pick it up, you didn't mark it, you didn't clean it.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're at Kennett Square Golf and Country Club, and my guest is Pete Trenum. Pete, for 3 decades or so, was the head professional at St. David's. He's an honorary member there, but more importantly now, Pete, you are the official historian for the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America, and you also have your own website, and you have, as part of that website, a lot of history about the game of golf, specifically in Philadelphia. You call it what? Trenum's Treasure Troves.
Well, the website name is trenumgolfhistory.org.
Right.
And then on the website we have different things about professional golf in Philadelphia. And
going way back.
Going back to 1895.
And all you have to do is just click on, and there's a new story up there every few weeks. Recently, looking at it, I'm a regular follower. A number of stories kind of pop out and say, wow, how did that happen? And one of them is in regards to a pro playing at the time, I think out of Wilmington. His name was Ed Porky Oliver, and he wasn't just a country club professional. He was one of the best professionals of his time, wasn't he? Tell us what happened, though, to him, how he got disqualified at the U.S. Open one year.
Well, first of all, Ed Oliver was quite successful. His nickname was Porky because he was overweight, even by those days standards, and even by maybe now. But other than a couple of people, he was runner-up in all the majors in the United States. The U.S. Open, the Masters, and the PGA. But anyway, in 1940, they were playing the U.S. Open at Canterbury in Cleveland, and in those days they finished the tournament on Saturdays, and they played 36 holes, and Ed Oliver came out from lunch with some other guys, and the scorecards were on the table, but the official wasn't there, and it looked like a thunderstorm was coming up, so the 6 guys picked up their scorecards and went off in 2 threesomes, the same pairings they had in the morning, and as it turned out, Porky Oliver when it was all done, he was tied for the lead at the end of the day.
So he would have been involved in a playoff.
He would have been involved in a three-way
Was
playoff.
Claude Harmon also part of that group?
He's one of the ones that Butch Harmon's father, Claude Harmon, he teed off early too. But
they all got disqualified because
yeah,
they did not tee off at the specified
that's right.
time.
And they were notified not long after they teed off. Somebody came out in the course and told them, but they all said they wanted to play the round under protest and get a ruling when they got done, which is understandable. And so anyway, but Porky Oliver played well enough that he wound up in a three-way tie with Gene Saracen and Lawson Little, but that was it. He was disqualified, and so the playoff, 18-hole playoff the next day with two men and not three.
So Porky had to be a little more patient, and he may have had a U.S. Open title next to his name.
Right, or he certainly would have had a better payday.
Let's talk too about, I think the fellow's name was Joe Kirkwood. He was from Glenside, Pennsylvania, local Philadelphia area pro. And a lot of people, I guess I should begin this by saying, there's generations of golfers now who don't know what the stymie rule was. Back in the day, and going back hundreds of years to the game's origins in Scotland, if you were within 6 inches of another ball on the putting surface, 6 inches or less, the ball then could be moved, the ball that was blocking your path to the hole. But if it was beyond 6 inches, that ball didn't have to be marked. Hence, you were stymied. And tell us about what Joe did to keep that rule in effect as long as it was in effect.
Of course, most golfers thought it was a dumb rule, but
we can see the logic there.
But it started back in the days when you played the ball as you found it, no matter what. You just played your ball. You didn't pick it up. You didn't mark it. You didn't clean it. So it came out of that. And this was only in match play. It wasn't in stroke play, because it was only between the two people that were playing. So there was a stymie. But the USGA was thinking about softening this rule because there were a lot of people that were ignoring it or whatever. But one day, Joe Kirkwood, who was the greatest trick shot artist in the history of golf, he was born in Australia but moved to Glenside in 1923. He was playing with the president of the USGA, and he was showing him how to maneuver around a stymie with a chip over it or whatever.
And he was, of course, a trick shot artist, so he could do it as well as anybody.
He could do it probably better than anybody. But anyway, the president of the USGA was really impressed by this, and that there was really an art to doing this, an art to playing the stymie. And so at a meeting soon after that at Pine Valley, the president of the USGA talked the board or whatever, the committee, into continuing the stymie, keeping it going. And so it kept going until about 1947, when lots of organizations just ignored it or whatever, and finally they did abolish it.
Sounds like it was about time that they got rid of the stymie rule. Another story, and you just told me this one as we were sitting here at Kennett Square, involved the winner of the 1977 White Marsh Valley, or IVB Classic. It was played at White Marsh Valley Country Club. He was a youngster out of Texas by the name of Tom Kite. And Tom Kite won on a Sunday, and the next day he went to your club, St. David's, to try to qualify for the U.S. Open. Tell us how that all evolved.
It was actually 1976. And
okay.
The qualifying for the U.S. Open was at St. David's, and one of the sectional qualifiers was in Philadelphia because of the bicentennial. That's why it was, and so it was at St. David's. And so Tom Kite called me up earlier in the week and said he wanted to come over for a practice round, and finally we figured out, even though we were really busy, we figured out that maybe he could come over Thursday afternoon because he had an early starting time at White Marsh.
So he played his first round at White Marsh, got in the car and drove out to St. David's.
Yeah, and played a practice round on Thursday, and then he won the tournament, his first victory on the tour.
Was he the medalist in the qualifying on Monday?
Then on Monday he was the medalist. Yes.
What did he shoot, do you remember?
He shot 69-66.
Wow.
He was the medalist by several strokes.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did he have any conversations with you either before or after the practice round and winning?
No, he didn't. And but some of my good juniors, one of my really good juniors, wound up caddying for him. And at that time, the club supplied the caddies if they wanted to, and the touring pros didn't get to bring their own caddies. The USGA rules were it was up to the club, and we had lots of good caddies at St. David's, so they had to use our caddies, and one of my real good junior golfers caddied for him.
That was a pretty good extended weekend for Tom Kite in Philadelphia.
That was the start of a long, successful career.
Absolutely. You know, speaking about a long, successful career, you certainly have had it. And I'm just curious, I know you played tournament golf, you played collegiate golf at the University of Florida, longtime member of the section here in Philadelphia. Who are some of the more famous, maybe people you ever got to be paired up or paired near in a tournament?
I guess really one of the most interesting people was I went to college with Doug Sanders.
That would be interesting.
So that was, for 1 year I played a lot of rounds with Doug Sanders.
Did he wear all the
No,
colors?
he was too poor then. He just
khakis and a white shirt?
Whatever, and some of the golf team clothes or whatever, but he really didn't, he had no money.
How about that?
Yeah, only money he had he made gambling in the pool hall and on the golf course.
And did he make a lot of it?
He made quite a bit.
Okay.
Every weekend he went somewhere around Florida, Jacksonville, Orlando, somewhere to gamble. And you know, people would invite him to come there, and he had this short, funky swing, and most people thought that he probably wasn't that good, and he played just well enough to win the money usually.
And played almost well enough. He missed by this much a chance at a playoff at the British
Well,
Open.
he would have won it.
He would have won it, right?
He would have won it. He did
Against
play
Nicklaus.
because he missed that putt. He did play off.
Right. Unbelievable. Have you talked to him or seen him lately?
I see him at the Masters once in a while and say hello to him. You know, but, anyway.
Anybody else come to mind as a playing partner or in your foursome in a tournament or near I think, well, how about Sam Snead?
Well,
That's the closest you got to slamming Sam.
Well, I've practiced next to Snead and I've played behind him, and the worst thing to do is play in front of him because his gallery is running over you because you're trying to get in position to see his next shot, which happened to me once.
Pete, it's always a pleasure to go down memory lane. Once again, give everybody the website where they can keep up with what you're doing.
TrenhamGolfHistory.org.
That's TRENHAM.
TRENHAM, golfhistory.org.
And look for those treasure troves. You won't be disappointed.
Treasure troves are on the bottom right corner.
Pete, thank you very much. Enjoy your sort of retirement at St. David's.
Thank you.
We'll be back. More of Inside Golf in just a moment.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Next week, we're here at Lulu Country Club. As you can tell in the background, they're making all kinds of changes here at Lulu, both to the golf course and to the facilities. And we'll sit down with the new management team, get an idea what their plans are for the months and years ahead at Lulu Country Club, a great Donald Ross design. Also, we would like you to get involved with Inside Golf by way of social media. Look at our contacts. This will put you and your friends and family, whoever, on Inside Golf in the weeks ahead. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. And we'll see you next time right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine. It's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf.